Alright.
Are we both in frame?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
Edit magic. You, future Joel, do it.
Alright.
Smash Bros. How does someone new come into the newest Smash Bros? Because I played all the way through and I've been a sweat from early to late Smash Bros. And there's fun in Smash Bros. For every level of player.
Yes.
And I'm curious how you have gone into it, because I was like, maybe you'll play the adventure mode, go through the board, or you'll try to play their solo mission. I feel like you're just jumping in and playing Smash Bros.
I am, and I think a big part of the push is with my son Kelvin. He's really into that game. Like, if there's a game that we can both play right now, that's it.
Fighting game?
And a fighting game at that too.
Yeah.
Because I play Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and he's just not.
No.
he doesn't have the background for it yet, and maybe with time he'll get into it. But Smash Bros is, for me, actually, when I first played it, I didn't like it because it was way too much going on. And
complicated.
So many items.
Oh, there's.
It's really like I went from 64 Smash Bros. To.
The peak.
The GameCube, Wii, like I just missed all that stuff, and then boom, here I am, and it's just like fucking go. I went from 8 characters to I think there's 82, 88, something like that.
Yeah, I never counted them.
Yeah, and that's actually the part that's keeping me in right now. But the reason I got in it was because it was a game that me and my son could play, and sometimes he's better than me, so we're kind of like, I use my adult brain on some things, and I'm like, but then I see him camping, so I'm like, oh, okay, so he knows what he's doing sometimes, but then he gets in it.
Yeah.
So he's very skilled at the game in a gamer that's coming up, and I'm like the old man just like trying to be wise about my but sometimes that shit don't work either, man.
Yeah, it's like, you try too hard and then you get disciplined for it.
What was shocking was today we played Smash Bros. And you lost.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not calling you out.
I know.
But I was shocked because I'm like, oh, this is your game, but it goes to show that like this game doesn't give a fuck. It's just open to anybody, and if you have items. So that's another thing. Me and Kelvin ran without items, and I beat him. I can probably beat him 9 out of 10 times on no items. Skill
becomes a skill match game.
Yeah, but when you put items in there, it's a lottery. Like you don't know
what's going on the screen. Oh, I lost track of myself. I'm on this side. I'm on the right.
I could not get over that at first, but now
your eyes have to adjust.
I'm just used to it. Like when a major explosion happens. Right away, where are you? I'm falling, but I was going that direction. I got to try to save myself.
Which I guess the goal of an explosion is to disorientate you. I mean, it does that to an unfair-ish.
You said this is the best Smash Bros, and I have to agree.
It is the best Smash Bros. I have to stand by that.
I have played the GameCube and the Wii version, but I'm not like. I don't have a calling to go back to those.
The GameCube, I know we ran it very briefly. Man, it's so much rougher going back. But back then, when you had Smash Bros. On 64, and you did that big-ass leap, and this was a game that I didn't own. This is a game that my friend owned, Ben.
Oh, yeah.
And next door friend, too. And I was like, dude, I want to go back to his house. It's like, he had that game and Metroid Prime.
Ooh.
And I'm like, damn, bangers. Prime aged a lot better.
Yeah.
But back then, that was it. Like, such a jump from 64 to that.
Talk about derailing. 64 is getting a lot of shit right now for being a nasty console. And I'm actually like,
it's a fun
I'm
console.
trying to be its like little savior. Like, no. Like, yes, it is graphically shitty. But there are some great games on it.
And it's
like, dude, you forgot. We were playing Super Nintendo 2D, and they were the first to really launch it to the 3D scale and actually make it successful. There's a lot of people who have taken innovation steps, and it's been a major flop.
Yeah.
64 took a major chance. They were just the frontier in this, and they actually landed it. And yeah, if you go back, the polygons suck, but it's still good games.
It's still fun.
It's still fun.
I can attest to that because this past weekend, me and Miranda ran Mario Kart 64.
Ooh.
We on the Switch, and the reason I ran it was because something was downloading on the PS5. I ran the Switch, and I'm just trying to keep our gamer heads in that space. And I'm trying to find a game where we both can play on equal footings, because like everything I'll just dominate her on.
Yeah.
And I was like, Mario Kart 64, I kind of suck at that game. Like, the older I go...
Let's play a game we both haven't played.
Yeah.
And I still beat you.
She got me... Oh, dude, it's so much bull crap. Like, you get knocked down... and
the rubber band.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, I stayed behind.
Rubber band is probably strongest on 64 from what I can tell.
Yeah. New
Mario Kart, like, if you got enough skill, you just pull away.
Yeah, you stay in first.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about the.
You still running Mario Kart?
No, I tried. This sounds very cocky, but I don't want to play too much and then get so good that I can't play with everyone else. For me, Mario Kart.
Is that cocky though? I think that's more of awareness.
Like,
because anybody can play anything for so long, and it's like me playing DK2, or Donkey Kong, and I come in and I'm like, I'm too good.
Yeah, you're not good, but you suck. And
that's all
natural.
you play.
Yeah. It's crazy that game had hooks in me, and I was like, no, I need to get all stars, all trophies, all speeds, and
for Mario Kart.
Mario Kart.
Okay.
And it's like you have to win for all stars. It's one thing to get the gold cup. It's another to win first in every race. Four races in a row and make it out.
That's like F-Zero.
Yeah, you have to stay in it. But point is, like, that game, once you've ascended so far, it doesn't matter. Like, your skill will bring you to the front. Like, as long as you know what to do, yeah, sure, you'll get knocked back a couple places. Oh, crap, you get second or third.
Not Mario 64. Take the lead and you're going to get lightning bolt. You're going to get... somebody's going to come up behind you with the blue shell. Bam. You're back in eighth.
Mario 64 stays true to the fundamentals of a party game. You're not supposed to always win. And if anything, that brings people closer because now you don't have the overpowered player. You have everybody on equal footing in some sense. And you could crawl your way back to the top, but you're going to put a lot of work. And it's almost ruining the fun of the game.
So another game that we had played is Punch Out.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I feel like no teeth has sunk for me.
I was hoping that would be our next little dive game. Like, I do feel like it still has that potential. Like, we all can just get in, try to figure out a pattern. You suck, all right, pass controller over.
I feel like it can be a dive game, but I'm not giving it a chance mentally right now because we're not doing it. Yet, once we're like, okay, we need to beat this, need to do that, we're getting further, here, pass on.
Yeah.
I feel like that's when that game will get into that status. Right now...
Yeah, we kind of rushed it, too.
Yeah, like that was rush game night. Time was not on our side. Donkey Kong Country has my teeth in it because I want to beat it. We're towards the end, and we're all getting beat, and we're all going through it naturally where everybody's taking a turn, everybody's going. No one's phoning it in, and everybody's actually trying to beat it.
Yeah.
I think that's where the...
and usually when we're running it... you're already kind of wasted.
Why is the timing is off? Obviously.
You're wasted. I'm sleepy wasted. And we're just like kind of hanging in there and just running it until we're like, all right, somebody call it.
I know, right? I was like, I don't even want to beat this game anymore.
It's a good finisher for the night, for sure.
Country. It's still my favorite, but I mean, it's the only one I've played. But as far as
we played all three, but that's the one that just the everything was so good.
Yeah, maybe it's nostalgia, but it's.
I was listening to one of the songs in Donkey Kong, and I just couldn't figure out how somebody came up with this song. It's very complex, just the way it builds up, and there's layers, and all of a sudden it changes up on you, and you're like, "What the hell?" Like. How did you think about that? That's just some weird shit. And the type of music that's playing isn't like it's like it's not drums. It's like weird synthesizer stuff, you know. And it sounds like you never probably really heard. And he's probably using the best that he could from what Super Nintendo could produce. And there's some, like, if you pay attention to the notes, it's some really funky beats and funky notes.
Which, to think about, like, we're having that expression now, back then, that was like...
I didn't even care for it back then. I just like, oh, this is Donkey Kong.
This is water level.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm in the water.
Yeah, and 20 years later, you're like, wow, it was a masterpiece.
What are you talking about? It's just a water level.
Yeah.
Maybe that's...
that's just old vibes. You know, you start appreciating the older days. And
well, now I'm like, what are the younger kids going to look back on to Days era and be like, oh, that had like a goated soundtrack, like...
I think Odyssey, Smash Bros, the intro.
Smash Bros. Intro's a little rough for me.
Yeah, I've heard, I think GameCube is probably the best intro.
GameCube has the best intro. I wish they tried their best for Ultimate.
Yeah, I heard it was actually off.
I think it's maybe because it's in English and the direct translation's not so nice.
Yeah. It is a little cheesy.
Corny. Yeah. Like, and we'll all unite together and beat the bad guy. I'm like,
yeah.
Don't shit on my Nintendo like this. Like, in front of a group of friends, adults, it sounds silly.
It is visually stunning, though, to see Kirby, you know. Kirby is the first one to come in. Yeah, like, that's pretty badass.
His baby, man.
Yeah.
Like, of course, give him the spotlight. Yeah. He's kicked off everything. If you look at Kirby, especially Kirby Superstars, it plays just like Smash. It has a block button. Double tap is sprint.
Oh, nice.
Jump. And then you have your directional attacks.
Are you talking about like Forgotten Land?
No.
Forgotten Land, how long has that one been out for?
You talking about the one on Wii?
Switch,
Forgotten Land.
It's the one that's coming on sale.
Forgotten Land. Oh, that's the 3D one. That one's been out for like maybe 3 years.
Have you played that one?
Yeah.
I don't remember if we played that one.
We never played it. It's like, I hate to say it, it's like baby 3D Mario.
Baby 3D Mario.
Like, it's a baby version of 3D Mario.
Ooh.
Too easy. But that's what Kirby games are primarily known for. Like, just getting in and out. But I was like, man, this is too easy. Like, I'm not having enough challenge.
I was feeling it warm up in here. Temperature's fine. It's the damn TV. TVs are cranking it up.
It's 65 degrees in here.
So let me push forward on this real quick. DS games. I unlocked a bunch of games for the DS, and I was really surprised.
Illegally.
Nintendo, $50,000.
How many games did you download?
I bought them all.
There you go. Legally purchased.
But I will say, DS is an era that I know I played some DS games, but I never really was looking for the GOATs. One of the games I have is Madden. Yeah, on DS. Like, you can imagine how trash that is.
You could have played it anywhere else.
I didn't know how many freaking GOATs there are on here. So China Wars is one of them for Grand Theft Auto. That was theatrically impressive. Just the way they filmed and shot. And it's like, you didn't know that the DS could play like a movie. And they're still using cel-shaded work. Like, it's like freaking impressive how, even for a top view game, it's very fun. A lot of profanity in this game, a lot of violence, typical Grand Theft Auto, and it's running on Nintendo DS, probably like the most kiddish handheld ever.
Is their biggest. I'm pretty sure they have several other rated M games, but this is probably their biggest rated M game.
Yeah.
Like Grand Theft Auto on the Nintendo DS, on the Nintendo platform, and it's gonna fully be uncensored. Like, yeah, it has to be. It's Grand Theft Auto.
I think that's the deal. You know, if you're Rockstar, you want me to make a game for you, Nintendo? Yeah. You can't hold me back.
Yeah.
This is what you want. You know who I am.
Yeah, but you asked us to develop.
I'm the dirtbag. I can't come in here and be a good guy. I gotta go all out. Sonic Colors, you played it for a minute. You get some nostalgia vibes?
As a 2D Sonic game, I'm not a 2D Sonic... I don't have that much skin in the game. But I've came in, I now appreciate 2D Sonic, and that is a good 2D Sonic game. And it's cool that it's using both screens. I still wish I could fucking see the whole thing, because you're going so fast that you don't know what the fuck's ahead of you. And that's every Sonic 2D game problem I personally have.
You think they'll come out with a new dual screen in the future, Nintendo? Probably not, right?
No, it's too risky. Like now, in the gaming atmosphere,
because I saw cell phones coming out. They're bringing back the flip
so
phones.
Gimmicky though. I've seen someone I don't want to name that has it, and I'm like, that's so fucking dumb.
Yeah, you didn't like it?
It's neat.
I mean, the beauty of it was that it was analog. Like you were pushing buttons for flip phones. I can't imagine a flip phone that's touchscreen.
What's the purpose? What's the purpose?
Space? I don't know. You got this big old thing.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, we figured out to cope with this big ass phone, and you have the option to go smaller too.
Yeah,
like
I
see it as a gimmick. I don't see any actual.
It used to be protection, but like now the screen, like
it's on both sides.
How often does
How
often does the screen get damaged nowadays? If you have a case, you're fine.
Yeah, and
so that argument is lost already. So why do you need a flip phone? I get it. Like there's really not much there.
You can angle the camera. I saw this person who it's gonna remain. I'll tell you after. They were taking a picture like this, like it was at an angle, like you're like doing a little radar.
Yeah,
and I'm like, just take it like a normal picture. Like there's no point where you have to do that. You're like self-justifying the fold.
He's trying, man. The other game I have, MarioWare, made excellent use of the stylus. I know you didn't play that one.
I played a demo way back, way back, and it was great.
This is a great dabbler game. This is a great crash game. You got 10, 15 minutes to kill. You want to jump into something, get out.
Easy.
This is it. You go in there and you actually have the best use of stylus in this DS game, which you don't really find. You don't really want to use the stylus for a lot of games in DS. It's supposed to be more of a guide, but I think it was Zelda Phantom Hourglass.
Yeah.
Has you control with the stylus.
Too much.
And I'm like, you're killing me.
Yeah,
you took me out.
Like this writing feature has so much stamina.
These muscles don't get used anymore. Nobody's writing letters to their significant other anymore.
You're doing this for a reason. It's convenient.
Yeah,
and it's not texting you out.
If anything, less muscle use is where we're evolving to. I mean, we got glasses now that take pictures and
just play the game for me.
Yeah.
If I look at it,
if
I look at it, it should do what I want. Well, kind of the neurotech technology.
Yeah, that's where we're heading.
I guess.
What was the little robot movie? Pixar.
What? I'm thinking iRobot.
No, where he's cleaning up all the trash. He's saving all the fat people.
Wall-E.
I
haven't seen that movie, by the way. I've seen the first half. I know. Oh, hey, man.
He's cleaning up a dirty planet because humans left it a mess. They're in outer space, basically on this giant cruise ship.
Hey, man, I didn't ask for a spoiler.
It's not a spoiler, but that's kind of...
That's the plot?
That's the plot.
Okay, cool. And there's a nice, clean robot. And
he's just
or whatever her name is.
Crunching away. Game of the year.
Finally got to that. I am derailing it though. Okay, off the top of my head, there's 6 games, and I'm trying to name them from memory.
Go for it.
Astrobot, which is easy because I see it right there off screen.
All right.
Belantro, where the fuck this card game? It came out of nowhere. I've heard it's good, but I don't believe it.
Game of the year, is that something we just need to throw in there? Go ahead, keep going.
What the fuck? Black Myth, Wu-Tang.
Wukong.
Yes, Wukong, I know it. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Elden Ring. The DLC. I want to keep putting that in parentheses because Elden Ring already came out last year.
Yeah.
And was Game of the Year. And I didn't play or didn't get into it, so that's a separate argument.
Yeah.
And the last one, Metaphor, which I don't know everything about this game. From my understanding, I could be wrong, is the next Persona game, but separate. They did their own thing. It's like, I'm tired of doing medieval themes. Now
Yeah.
I'm going to go to a futuristic theme.
So what have you seen as the trend for what makes a game of the year?
Whatever's the most popular.
Then answers my question of what's going to win.
Which is?
Astrobot.
You think so?
I guess I can understand. I look at it and yeah, it's a bit kiddish, but here's the thing: anybody can get to it. It is better than any Mario game. Ooh, fighting words.
Fighting words. I haven't played the right Mario game. That's what it is.
I mean, just put them up head to head. And if you're a Mario fan, I'm a Mario fan, dude, by heart. But it's like, dude, when I played it, I was like, fuck, it is so much fun, and it is doing it better. Mm-hmm. Does it deserve the credit for being the one to get it? No, like Mario started this trend, but PlayStation came out with the game, and they actually have it seems like they're building up a new Mario, and he is really taking off. And you can play. I've heard of kids 4 or 5 years old beating this game.
Yeah.
I've heard of 40, 50, 60-year-olds beating this game.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah.
And if they know the full scope of PlayStation, and they'll fully appreciate it.
The sales, the marketing behind all of this, to me, that's what makes it a Game of the Year champion, I guess you could say.
And then,
although, like, let's say Elden Ring, even though they already won last year, yeah, it could be more masterful. But where was, what's the new Persona game?
Metaphor.
I'm sure it probably is a better game, but who's aware of it? Like, you completely missed it. I didn't even heard of this game.
There was some memes about it, and it is. I'll show you after this.
Is it too niche? Is it, you know what I mean?
It is niche.
And I feel like if part of what makes a Game of the Year is the backing to push this game, the involvement of the community.
Okay, so
not to say it's the best game. We're talking about the Game of the Year.
Yeah, the year.
We're almost talking sales.
Yeah.
We're almost talking trends. We're almost talking how much is the community involved behind this.
It is like all those factors behind it have to make it Game of the Year.
Yeah.
It has to be a financial and a commercial. I don't know if that's the right word.
Yeah, like a success.
Social success. Like everybody has to agree on it. Financially, it has to be aligned with it.
Yeah.
And it has to push something forward. Nowadays, it is hard to revolutionize things in the gaming industry, and I think that's where I'm like, what is Game of the Year? What is like really giving me that like, oh shit moment? And it's not a lot of games, and it's really hard to do that because it's hard to revolutionize everything right now.
It's hard to step up. Every day we're always like we already have some of the best stuff out there, and we're still like, give me more.
Yes. I mean, that's the nature.
Make me cry.
Yeah. I want this game's not 10 out of 10 because it make me cry. Okay.
Yeah.
Fucking Metal Gear Solid 4. It got up there. We're in an evolution period where everything's just evolving to the next step up, next step up, next step up. Like, that's all we're doing. We're evolving past that. That video I watched on Super Mario World versus Super Mario Bros. 3. It is not a revolution. It's not a revolutionary step. It's more of like an evolutionary step from Mario 3 to Super Mario World. Mm-hmm. It's like a better jump, but from Super Mario World to Super Mario 64.
Oh yeah.
That's revolutionary.
Yes.
That is like uncharted territory. But like that's the step
that's what we're all waiting for. And it's like,
no.
We should yeah. It's like we
can't get it.
We're all waiting for the new iPhone, right? We're all waiting for the new car, and it's like,
that's
you reinvent the internet for me. Like, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do this every week.
Those type of revolutionary steps don't happen on a yearly basis, in my opinion. Maybe 10 to 20 years. Like, it's hard to see what is the next thing. Like what we're having is
expectations are fucking unbelievably high right now, and I'm just talking about in all concepts of life. Like, we don't appreciate a fucking
shit
thing. Like, you don't realize how much work is getting put into these games, how much convenience factor there is in it for you.
How much
and you're just like,
you have to meet.
it didn't get me. And it's like the same with movies too. It's like, it's okay. And it's like, dude, this was, if you really look at it, like everything that's coming out today is fucking great.
Yes, compared to the standards that were set before.
We're just expecting a revolutionary step. And
I need a new Star Wars. I need a new Endgame.
Yeah,
like it has to be that great.
To me, Metaphor is just a freaking badass, probably RPG game.
More than likely is.
And it's taken up maybe another direction, adulting the story maybe. But audience-wide, I don't see it like capturing the masses.
Speaking of not capturing the masses, that card game, what did I say? Balenciaga?
I don't. Yeah, some weird name.
Okay.
I hate to talk shit about story about it. Oh, go ahead.
Wait, what?
I was gonna say, do you have any like context behind this game?
It probably is a good game. It probably is a great game.
Yeah.
I still don't. And me not knowing anything about it, I'm being very hesitant to give it Game of the Year nominee. I'm like, Echoes of Wisdom? Like, I know that's not a Game of the Year game.
Yeah.
I think it's a great Zelda game. But if you're not a Zelda fan, it probably isn't for you.
What game?
Zelda Echoes of Wisdom.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't really have much to add because I didn't play, but
yes.
Yeah. I agree. Continue.
What it's doing, it's posing the question like, if that made it, why didn't this make it? And
why didn't it make it? That is a good question.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Now it's like, why did you include this game? Why? I have no logic, reasoning. I don't know where it came from.
Like not allowing Waluigi into Smash Bros.
Yes. Alucard. Come on. There's so much concept energy. But as a fan, all you see is the potential, and then as a developer, all you see is the writing on the wall. Like, no, you can't have that for this XYZ reason.
Good question though is why did they have so much Fire Emblem characters in this game? I'm guessing developers were some fanatics or something.
They wanted, part of it was
awareness?
A marketing push.
Okay.
At the time of those Smash Bros.
Yeah.
Fire Emblem was a very hot marketable item, and Smash Bros was almost like a Fortnite, like an advertisement.
Platform for it.
It's a platform for it. So every Smash Bros had a Fire Emblem game. It would promote, it would boost its sales, and it would do it the next generation, and then you just kept fucking having more Fire Emblem characters. And Ultimate, where it's saying, I'm bringing everyone in, everyone comes back. You see all the fucking marketing they did there.
Yeah.
Like, a line of like, why is there so many fucking Fire Emblem characters?
Pokemon characters too, quite a bit.
Yeah, but Pokemon has...
They got grounds.
There's a lot of characters, and most of them are unique. And then you see Fire Emblem, and I was like, that's just a clone character of this. Chrom is just Roy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say the other characters because you'll get them later. And I'd rather not spoil it.
You're not going to spoil Fire Emblem characters for me.
I'd rather have it still unique to you.
All
Anyways, it was, 1, marketing. 2, it was easy. All they did was asset flip.
Yeah, that sucks.
Kinda, but you got more. Dr. Mario was that.
Yeah.
Dr. Mario was just an asset flip, and instead of not giving you or not getting it,
pills.
Yeah, it's a little slower, a little stronger. Electric instead of fire.
Cannon Ryu. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks. I think that's where people start like, okay, I'll back off. Like, you at least gave me something instead of nothing.
There's 88 characters plus. Like, I got more than enough.
And one of them is Snake. I'm fucking happy.
I was about to say that. When I unlocked Snake, I was like, I'm done. But I'm going to continue this journey anyways. But, like, I'm satisfied. That's really all I wanted. And then I played as him, and I was like, he's so fun to play, but I suck at playing as him. Like, I don't have it in me to play. Well, maybe I need more time. But I feel like there's characters that you instantly become very good with,
Snake's
and then
not
there's
one of
some
them.
where you're like, and then there's some that are just too freaking. Who's the lizard dude from Donkey Kong?
King K. Rool.
He's just like too much, man. He's just like, he come in and then the boss from Kirby.
King Dedede.
Yes. So you got these like powerhouses
Mm-hmm.
that are just like, and they got speed. Like they got almost too many attributes.
Mm-hmm.
They're too heavy.
Mm.
Do you not feel that, or like you've been in it more than I have?
It's-
I guess they get balanced out later on.
Balance in its
Okay.
way. Once you see what they're good at, you
Yeah.
can abuse it. Somebody will try to check you, and then you have counters, and then they have counters, and then you just start playing rock paper scissors all the way through.
That's badass.
There is some campiness to it. Like you can play cheap.
Yeah.
You can always outbeat cheap if you're patient, but you're not. You're playing an unfun game at that point.
Yeah, yeah.
And I had that this afternoon. God, that was so annoying. Playing a projectile game, and I can't get in.
So, closing thoughts on Game of the Year. What do you think? You heard my thoughts.
I don't want to give it to Astrobot because I've there's got to be something better. But yeah, Astrobot. Wukong's too difficult.
Wukong is probably for us like that is the masterful Game of the Year. But is it the Game of the Year for the masses? No.
It came out of nowhere though.
Nowhere, zero expectations.
And
I
just slapped
played
me.
it and I was like, whoa, this is better than God of War.
Yeah, but if you now have context and this is the Game of the Year nominee and you go play it, you're like, what's so special about it?
For Wukong?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like, now that somebody set the expectations, because me, I was like, what the fuck do these Chinese motherfuckers have to bring to the table?
I also
American.
thought Astrobot wasn't going to be that great. And then we ran it, because I've only played the demo versions, and I honestly didn't really care for them.
Mm.
Then I play this, and I'm like, man, like, it is very fun. It gave me, like, old Mario vibes, and not only that, like,
Yeah.
it was giving you nostalgia. It was giving you,
Snake.
Crash Bandicoot,
Yeah.
Snake, like...
Psycho Mantis.
Yeah, it's just throwing all these... The history of PlayStation is unraveling for you.
Yeah, and you don't even have to notice it. It just, I don't know what this game is. All right, on to the next.
Yes.
Just keep rolling. It
Yeah.
doesn't hold you back. This
No.
is watch this cutscene. No, you just keep playing the game. If you got it, you got it. If you didn't, just keep
In the
Yeah,
essence of fun,
fun.
I
Yeah.
give it to Astrobot.
I know, he's right there.
Yeah.
He's
Waiting. And my closing thought. PS5 Pro 30th anniversary. You and I both have a stake in this.
Yeah.
Although so many people were talking about there's bots out there that are buying it, and yes, there were definitely a lot of scalpers. I'm neither of those, and I also don't have a PS5 at all.
Yeah.
And I was waiting to get the PS5 Pro, and then when it came out, and I think it was like $700,
Nah, too much.
I was planning for I think over a year to get this PS5 Pro, right? Like if I'm gonna come in without a PS5, I'm gonna wait for the best. And then when
Yeah.
it came out at $700, I was like, for what? Like that's
Not
a little
much.
that's a little high.
Yeah, you went past my budget.
And then I think like maybe 2 or 3 months later, they came out with the announcement for the 30th anniversary.
That's all it took.
And when I saw it, I was like, wow, it looks freaking cool. And they're only going to make 12,300 copies. So I'm like, okay, collector's vibes? Check. Do I like the colors? Check. Does it meet my PS5 Pro requirements? Check.
Yeah, it's PS5. It's a PS5.
Only thing I didn't know was the price. And I think the price didn't come out until it was actually released for purchase.
And then it came to the FOMO.
And I was like, if it's over 1,200, I'm not moving on.
Oh, yeah.
And it was at $1,000 for everything, which
For the
freaking sounds stupid.
Yeah, but for what you get and the value that's in it.
For the value, and then, I mean, I hate scalpers, but scalpers have also increased the market, the value of this game, because they were going for the cheapest one. I've seen them for $3,500, and they were going up to like $5,000. So, for investment purposes, like that's always satisfying.
Mm-hmm. But you have your value.
But to have, it's always nice to have a collector's piece that you can look back to, like the Zelda DS,
the Shield.
the Shield. Like I'm like, dude,
Why didn't I get this?
why didn't I get that? That looks so cool. And then
For me, it's that Metroid 3DS.
what is it like $300-400 for a loose copy?
For what? For the 3DS?
It's
like 500.
Yeah. And it's like, you missed it.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense to buy it just to have it unless you have throwaway change like that.
And the other part is like, I felt like I was proud to get it because
That's my
where
PlayStation.
most people are scalping it, and to be able to be a rightful owner and have it in your possession and actually play it and run it, like that is something pretty noteworthy, I think.
What's odd is like you're in a sense a PlayStation fanboy-ish. Not fanboy, but you're a fan.
Yeah.
You're a player. And you skip the PS5, but you've been through it
Somewhat
hazy.
Yeah.
When it's convenient for
from
you.
a distance. Yeah. Like whenever
the
you play it,
shadows.
I'm like, hey, what game was that? What game was that? Can I play?
But you still, like, it's almost made for you. And you came in at the right time.
Yes.
It's the great classic. We all grew up on that. And I was like, that's speaking to you. And you're just in the right time and place where most other people already had the PS5 if they were the Sony boys. Already were, like, kind of dismissive of it, of the Pro in general.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point of the upgrade? There really isn't.
And I'm seeing a lot of heat, and I'm trying to be like, man, but I'm not in that.
No, exactly.
I'm not buying it for those reasons.
Yeah.
I'm buying it because I want it.
Not me.
Yeah.
That's you.
At some point, I'm sure it is, but I'm happy to own it. And for $1,000, I mean, you got to spend your money somewhere. Might as well spend it on the things you like, things that you enjoy, something that you can actually, if you like being a collector, like. I don't like being a collector in terms of just buying anything. If there's something that I really like, I mean, I really want it. Like, as we said, for the reasons of when you go back and you're like, man, I wish I had that copy. I got it.
Yeah, it's right here.
And they told you up front, we're only selling 12,000 of these worldwide.
I lied.
If they lied, oh man. I'd still be okay with it, but a part of me would be kind of hurt. I'd be like, man, you fucking liar.
Yeah, just buy it to hurt you more.
But you bought the
Portal.
The Portal. So between both of us, we have the complete set, and that's pretty cool.
Right?
And I didn't expect that.
We have everything. I was about to say we're technically missing the controller, but no, we're not.
So the bundle deal comes with the dual edge, it comes with the console, the stand, which I think is stupid. It does not come with the disc player, but I purchased one. I said, fuck it. $70, whatever. I know it's a lot, but I'm already in.
Yeah.
So I can't not have it and just run digital when I have physical copies in the backlog, in the back burner, just waiting.
You technically can.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't now that your backlog.
So I just said screw it. It comes so stupid with the disc player cover, but it doesn't come with the disc player.
Yeah, we'll cover it for you, but I know what you want.
I felt like that was cheap, but I'm moving on.
Yeah, that is cheap. Portal, yeah, that is the closing thought. I was like, come on. And the reason is because you mentioned
about it. I missed it.
And I was like, no, we have to talk about it, and we're going to talk about it on camera.
All right.
Because like this is a tidbit in itself. This is like a
Link to the Past. I've been putting a dent on this, little by little, not a whole lot. I think I have 2 or 3 of the crystals from the Dark World.
Okay.
So I'm chipping away and I'm getting some of the items. Everything's really fun until you get to a point where you need a walkthrough.
I don't know what the
fuck I'm doing. Once you get into the Dark World, pretty much everything requires a walkthrough, and I find that extremely frustrating. And yes, Super Metroid was kind of like that, but you knew that. I feel like the problem with this game is that it should give you more context clues.
Right. Talk to a villager. A villager comes talk to you.
Yes.
A bird fucking tells you.
Usually you talk to the locals and they give you some tidbits and you're like, okay. But when you're playing this game, especially in the Dark World, it tells you nothing.
And you missed the one villager in the Light World, and now you're in the Dark World, and it's the Light World version of that villager that told you what to do.
To me, there's too many bullshit parts in that game that I feel like, how is that number 2 in the ranking world?
It is. I see the argument because it's following Zelda 1, where Zelda 1's full of bullshit. Bomb this tree and there's a tunnel. In that sense, this is the better game. But does that mean it's one of the greatest games? And I
playing this has... Go ahead.
Look back on it, I'm like, there's too many stop and goes. There's too many... Yes, it's great. And at the time where I had nothing to do or it was my only game, this game I beat on the Game Boy Advance.
Nice.
Great, because I could fucking turn it off. And I had to run the fucking TV on.
Yeah, when you're playing on Super Nintendo, you gotta start back at your house, or at the cemetery, or...
the Dark World Pyramid.
Yeah, I'm like, motherfucker, you're making me travel. And
don't have the flute, don't have the
You're making me try to memorize this cave in the mountain. It's just ridiculous.
Dude, the mountain's bullshit. The cave is bullshit to get up the mountain.
So for those reasons, I have
dethroned it,
notched it down. It was always, Super Metroid has always been in the contender. So for me,
I'm just like, play it, come on.
I don't know for you, but Super Mario World holds number one because of the same factors of Astrobot. It's just fun. Anybody can get to it. It's a dive game. Mm-hmm. It's a long-term game. It's wildly crazy sometimes, and if you're frustrated, you just play something else. You know, like it doesn't require. You can just like pass through it too. Like you don't have to go through like all the hidden levels.
You kind of had to every time I reset. But that's your battery.
Yeah, my battery's dying on my Super Nintendo, so cartridge game. So I gotta replay it every so often, every 6 months.
Right. You have to.
I have to, but
I have to beat all the world.
Super Metroid, to me, has taken the number 2 spot now.
Nice. I feel like that's like adequate, like right, in my opinion. I mean, everyone's opinion.
Yeah.
But I agree with it because
it's just not for the masses. That's the problem with Super Metroid.
Yeah.
But if you play with grown-up eyes, you're like, fuck.
Yeah, I want to go
dope.
Back to a Super Nintendo game that's good, that's great,
a masterpiece,
and that's what Super Metroid was.
Yeah,
where Link to the Past was kind of like a product of its time.
Yeah,
Super Metroid carries on through any generation, in my opinion. Like it still holds up in some senses.
In one of the reviews I read, they call it a masterpiece, and they don't say that word lightly. And I'm like, I have to agree with that, man.
Yeah.
Like,
masterpieces only happen
Super Metroid could be ranked number 10, and it still earns the title of masterpiece.
Yeah, like
which
you still have a couple of contenders above you, but you're still
masterful in your area.
Yes, yeah,
top notch.
Yeah, for the people that get it,
which may be like Wukong and the new Persona game. I already forgot.
Metaphor. You have to see
those may be in the same boat. They're masterful. But do they make it number 1?
Yeah, I guess that card game might be in that same realm too.
Yeah,
where it's forgotten about, but with time. But you look back on it, it's like, oh, this is a really good game.
Yeah,
for this year. If that's crazy. Damn, it's also crazy. Sparking Zero's not up there. I mean, it's not that great, but it is good.
I was gonna say I haven't played Rebirth. But isn't it kind of the same? You said it's a whole new game.
Oh, it's not Final Fantasy VII PlayStation 1. It's not the same.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of reasons that it's not the same, but it's a different game. And I can respect that it's its own thing, but now you're saying it's part 2 of a series. And usually you have to do something profound to be better than the original or the first, and I don't know if it's hit that level. Like how much better are you than Final Fantasy VII Remake? Like when you went from Final Fantasy VII PlayStation 1 to the PS4, yeah, I could see the argument. But now I'm like, it's just a sequel, which is nice, but that's not Game of the Year to me. A sequel has
That's what it sounded like to me.
What?
Like what you're saying, like I feel like I haven't played the game, but I'm watching it from a distance. I'm like, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, I feel like and I was like, fuck, I still even played the first one.
Yeah,
I can't just go into the second one. The story's a big deal with the game, especially with Final Fantasies. You're in it for the story. At that point,
of course, Game of the Year is also a marketing ploy.
Yes.
So there's a lot of money behind it, and that's probably how some of these games ended up. I mean, but still, that card game though, maybe that's just the way it kind of like proved to you that this is why it's better. I don't know.
Like so lopsided. Like I don't see it getting Game of the Year.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on, is this a joke?
So
Did you just need 6 spots to fill?
6 spots, but there's really only 2. Yeah.
Was that? I could have sworn there's a shitload of games that fucking released this year.
I feel the same way too. I just can't really think of any.
I haven't fucking beaten most of these games either.
But Wukong is definitely deserving of that.
I think so. Fair. Yeah. Like, it's earned a good spot. Like, I'm not mad about it. I'm mad about Elden Ring.
I mean, Elden Ring won last year, right?
Yes. So why is it back? Like, I know it's a DLC. Why the fuck does it need to come back?
I don't know. I'm pretty tapped out though.
Yeah.
You feel it? Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I think that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We got some more topics to cover for next week. Probably hit up some more retro games. But that's it, man. Hope you guys enjoy it. Have a good one.
See ya.